Hey everyone, I'm gonna get right to it. Let me take some time to shuffle the cards. And I like doing the lives, so I've decided that I'm going to continue to do them weekly on Sundays. I am changing time zones, so there'll be a different time potentially next Sunday, but I'll keep everyone posted. I hope everyone had a really great week. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Erin Gabriella. I am an intuitive empath, a nature witch, and this is your weekly reading from the week from this tomorrow, which I believe is May 28th, through the following Sunday, which I believe to be June the 4th. So I know that the Thursdays, first, second, yep, the 29th through June 4th. And I was going to do a conversation on the themes for June, but I haven't really received those, so we'll just focus on the weekly readings. But the weekly readings will go very much into June, so I think that will kind of help usher us into June, and then we'll see, like, once the monthly themes come in, how they kind of correspond, and maybe we'll discuss them next week. All right, I'll get my decks going. I'm quite tired today. This weekend was a really odd weekend. I ended up going to the doctor. I spent most of the week out in nature because I just felt a strong calling to be out in nature. So, how was your week? Okay. I'm being guided to start with the Soul's Journey cards to get a sense of what the weekly reading this week is going to look like. Okay. So this is the first card that popped out. So I'll hold that here. But I think from what I've been getting, the authenticity is more than likely going to be a big theme this week. And we'll get into that a little bit more as we pull the cards. Hello. Ooh. Just shuffling the cards here, and then I will start with the reading. So I'll do weekly energy themes, and then go into the reading for each day, so everyone can get a sense of what's coming up by day and how they can kind of maximize the energies coming through. And June 1st, I know, is kind of starts the peak travel season. So we'll see what people got going on. Interesting. I feel like I need to save that one. Do you have any travel plans this summer, or just kind of hanging around? I'll be switching positions. Interesting. Starting, what day am I leaving? Thursday. So I always have this little bit of a manic energy because I'm trying to pick myself up and move myself to a new location, energetically, mentally, and I always feel slightly frazzled. It always goes fine. But I find the water just so calming. Okay, and let me light some Palo Santo. And ask for cleansing. Purification and guidance as all those who watch this now or in the future allow your intention to focus completely on the present moment, on you, on your journey, spiritual, healing journey, etc. And allow this to be a sacred time of communion, of love, of connection, and togetherness. So let it be. Ooh. We wave. Happy to see you. Long time no see. Okay, so let me pull the cards that I was kind of guided to keep as they're flying out. The first one, actually we got this last week. Honesty. The affirmation for that is I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. The second card out is the Royal You, which is about sovereignty. It's about kind of claiming your crown as a creator, as a master manifester, and allowing that to kind of move you forward in your life's purpose and journey. And then I got the Hierophant. I'll explain these all in a moment. The Hierophant here, if you take a look at this card, it's usually the card of spiritual teachings. It can be the card of spiritual teachers or spiritual leaders. So if some of you resonate as feeling like you kind of need to be out front, kind of like need to be leading the pack, the Hierophant card is very much that card. I'm being drawn to this symbol right here. He's holding a key, which I'll interpret to be like the keys of the universe. And these circles right here, if you look at the intersecting points, they make a quadrifecta? I can't pronounce. Trifecta, there we go. Trifecta, which is a powerful symbol that can be used in magic. And also a big star with a little baby in the middle, which represents, the download I'm getting is that this represents the purity of heart and the ability to shine brightly and kind of be like that way shore or that guide. So these cards are really, to me, talking about like this week upcoming, especially is going to be a highly spiritual week. I know we have the summer solstice coming up. I don't know the exact date. I haven't had a chance to look it up, but it either just came or it's coming soon. And I feel like the energy of that is kind of settling in. There is a lightheartedness, there is a joy. I mean, again, it is the summer season, and we are coming into the 6th month, which is very much 6. I consider to be like a number of the material, not necessarily in a bad way, because I know that you have like 666, which could be like some negative thing, but I just consider the number 6 to be like an honoring of the divinity of the physicality. Thank you so much. Honoring the divinity of the physicality of itself in terms of enjoying like life's pleasures, enjoying good food, good, like, I don't want to get, partners and all their forms, traveling, all that good stuff. Like that really feels like it's a major theme coming up for June, and especially as we go into this week. So as we move, it's going to really be about how do we connect to ourselves, our spirituality, and kind of shine that light for others in a way that honors the material as something that is sacred, not something that's bad, not something that we have to kind of turn away from or deny for the sake of spirituality, but something that we can kind of incorporate into our spiritual practice and show the world like how to use that in a way, or how really what it is about pleasure as a spiritual practice. Like that's really what's coming through for this week, and allowing that to be something that you're not shamed out of. Like we live in a society where I'm from the US, and every society is completely different, but I just think that sometimes in the United States, and you can let me know if this is true where you're from, there is like a shaming of anything that could be like a material pleasure. Like you have, for example, like Catholicism that says that pretty much anything that is good is a sin, like, sex is a sin, like all that kind of stuff. Really, I think that is a way to kind of disconnect us from the sacredness of the body. And I just think that as we move into June, and especially it's going to pick up this week, so it feels like maybe more from like Wednesday, this is kind of going to be the major theme, but as we get into June, it's really going to be about releasing like the shackles of inhibition, not in like a hedonistic kind of way, but in a way that just leads to a greater exploration of the joys of being on earth and just having fun and whatever that is to you in terms of the physicality. So that could even be like traveling to a new country and going for a vacation. Like that's one way that people love to take advantage and to really enjoy like what it means to be just alive and to experience the beauty of culture. That can be another way that you can kind of experience the beauty of the material, is like loving to experience different cultures, loving to travel to new places. Again, nature, like being out at the beach, like people love to be out there, feeling the sand on their skin, feeling the waves on their skin. That can all be ways that you can just enjoy being alive and like just enjoy being on earth. And really what I think that the Wayshorers and the guides of this planet are being asked to do is to just really take in just have fun. Just have fun. Like take in all of the pleasures of life and just enjoy it, like in the most carefree way. A lot of us, for some, it depends on, how quickly you got over COVID, but I'm hearing that for some, this could be like their first time in a while properly vacationing. I know that that's not true for everyone, but I know in 2020 there was a lockdown. 2021, maybe people were still a bit reluctant to get out. 2022, I remember this time last summer, at least in the United States, people were traveling, but it was a mass chaos. Like there was like airplane backups forever, like prices through the roof. So some people decided not to travel or to maybe travel around their homes because they didn't get the opportunity to like afford like a big trip in 2022 because the airline fees were like triple or something like that. So for some, this is the first year where they're kind of feeling good. Like they feel like life is okay, like as in the sense that there's no major disaster immediately looming, and they're getting out and they're having fun. And I just feel like that carefree essence is going to really kick in this week. So that's really exciting because I know that last week for some was a little heavy, for some maybe not so much. So that really feels good. And also I'm getting the card of, it's the 10 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands upright. Oh, good. Okay. Love that. Love that. Are you going anywhere fun or just finding ways to have fun? So the 10 of Wands, when it's upright, it's usually a card of burden, like a card of just too much on the plate, too much going on. Just all work, no play, or being all stuffy and not being allowed to really let loose. But it came out in the reverse. So I feel like there is a weight lifting for many, and it feels more like a psychological weight. And I think it's different for everyone. And as we draw more cards, I think I'll get more info on what that is. But it just feels like a psychological weight is lifting, and people are just kind of being like, you know what, like maybe the world in some areas isn't so great, but for me today, it's gonna be great because I decided that it's gonna be great. And just going out and having a good time and not being so stressed. Even like I was at the beach, and even like as as women, and I know there's men watching this too, so men, you can let me know now or later, but women get a lot of shame, for example, their body. So sometimes the beach for some women can be a stressful event. It's like you need the right bikini or whatever it is that you're wearing. Or are you going to be sexy? Are you going to be covered? Oh my God, like my thighs, like all these things. I feel like even for some, that's even fading away, where like the level of self-love is getting strong enough where people can say like, you know what? It doesn't matter like if I don't look like, like Halle Berry or whatever. Like I like me. I am going to feel sexy regardless of my size, my shape, and I'm going to get out there at the club or at the beach or wherever, meditation, wherever, and just have a really good time in my body and being alive. So that just feels really nice. Like it's nice to know that there's like just some more beauty and some lightheartedness kind of coming in this first week of June. So I think that we all really need that. And this goes into the card of honesty. Again, we got this card last week. Last week it was coming up more as just maybe recognizing like deception energies either in our personal relationships or in like the lies we tell ourselves. But this week it's coming up more as a recognition of just authenticity, like just being able to authentically love and care for yourself, and just saying like, you know what, I am who I am. My essence and God, for the most part, are all there is. A deeper understanding that everything is a reflection of me, and I can find love for all of that, even as it expresses like in the simplest ways, where it's like loving, my thighs or my hair or whatever it is that you got going on. Awesome. So that sounds like a lot of fun. Let me draw some more cards and we'll go a little bit deeper. So authenticity, even just expressing, hold on, there's a message coming through. It's like authenticity in your choices as well. Interesting. So for some of you, it seems that you might have been like holding back on making like a major life decision, or holding back on, I hear maybe like coming out of the closet, which is interesting. That might just be a specific message for like one of you, but holding back an important aspect of something that you want, something that you want to go after, or something that you are. And I'm just kind of seeing that this week, you may not like, for example, come out of the closet this week, but this will kind of be the week where you start to shake the shackles loose is really what's happening. Working up that courage to be like, you know what, this is what I am. This is what I realized about myself. This is what I like to do. This is where I want to live. And just really tackling that head on in a way that's completely unapologetic. So that's really exciting as well. So because the deeper we move into authenticity, I think the happier everyone's going to be. It's like, it's not always easy to be authentic, especially when you have like pressures or pressure, like society pressure kind of on your shoulders, convincing you that you have to be a certain way. But I just kind of feel that steadily, collectively, just kind of falling away. And something about this energy of this week is like really kind of shifting that. Okay, let me pull one more card here. Yeah. All right, so I'm getting the cards of Sacred Reverence, the Spirit of Gratitude, which is also a card that came up last week, and then Endless Possibilities. So then, the card Endless Possibilities to me is my like beautiful magic card. So that is a realization of the fact that you, again, are an infinite being with limitless potential, and you can do exactly what you want, and like you absolutely don't need permission from anybody at all, like family, friends, nothing, to be able to live the life that you want and to be who you want to be. So I'll give a personal example. So I have been, and this again is going back to just the material, because for some reason I'm coming back to very tangible, like examples of body, but I have had, I'm changing up my hair. Like right now I have like very short Afro hair, but I've had Afro hair for maybe like a decade before I went to dreadlocks. And I recently cut my dreadlocks, which is fine, but I just decided that I wanted to switch up my hair. So I think I'm probably going to go grab some wigs, which is, I mean, it's such a like a minor thing, but I just really wanted to kind of change up how I just kind of show up in the world. And I really enjoy my Afro, but I wore it for like a decade, and I think I just don't want short hair right now. So I'm probably going to go to like the wig shop and pick up some like, some super long wigs. So if you see me next week with like hair down to my behind, you'll know where it came from. And I haven't worn wigs, and I mean, it's been years. And even when I tried to dabble in them, like I didn't really, they're fun for a while. It's just a different fun thing to do, but I never took it seriously. So maybe this was like me when I show up with like a different hairstyle, it's like presenting like a different way to just kind of show up in the world, and a different way to be like, here, like this is me, I'm here, like in a different way, in a different form. That's just kind of like a very silly example, but it's really just about that shape-shifting energy where you can transform yourself on a whim in any way you want to, externally or internally, and you really, you don't have to answer to anybody. Like if you show up, with hair super short or hair super long, and you go to work or wherever you go, and your coworkers are like, it really has nothing to do with them. So if you want to switch it up, or if you want to change where you're living, you can do that. Like the world is really your oyster. So this is a time of great transformation internally, and that could result in just some very kind of flamboyant decisions on, and just like maybe a greater coming into the fact that you can be anything, that you can do anything, and allowing that to just express creatively through you. I mean, that could be like you making music that you've never made before, like painting in a way that you've never painted before, changing up fashion, things like that. But it really just feels like a very flamboyant energy, that like a peacock energy, like look at me, I'm here, I'm fabulous, I'm doing whatever I want to do, and I'm letting my light shine. I've been letting it shine spiritually and internally, and I'm allowing that to express now externally. So that's really interesting. It's very much like about enjoying planet Earth this week and into June. The spirit of gratitude is also coming through as well. This card came up last week, so it's a kind of continuing theme, and an understanding that really gratitude is absolutely a key of manifestation and just a happy life in general. So just enjoying what you have, whether or not you feel called to make some kind of, radical change or not, just knowing that at the end of the day, you are an amazing human, that you are stardust at your core, and to always remember to be in awe of this planet, to be in awe of yourself and what you're creating, and to be of awe of others as much as you can, as you honor the fact that they are God too, and they are creating the reality that they want to create. Whether or not you agree with it, whether or not it brings them pain or pleasure, just reveling in the beauty of the fact that everyone has the opportunity to create the life for themselves that they want, and being able to honor and appreciate everyone's unique creation in whatever form that may take. Like that's another big theme for this coming week and into the summer. And I'm being drawn to the image of the flower, and I've never noticed this before, but this pot has a little ear. So really it's kind of bringing us back to the understanding that your mind is the fertile soil from which all life blooms in your world. So this is a reminder as well to take stock of our thoughts. How are we limiting, like what belief systems or what actions might we be taking in our lives that may be resisting or might be a type of a block to this very flamboyant, like very like out there kind of beautiful, like wild, like almost like wild woman or like wild man woman kind of archetype that's like coming through for this week. I'm gonna try to think of a personal example. Okay, so I have to come back to the beach because I spent the whole week on the beach. So all my examples are gonna be beach examples. But for example, like the beach where I'm at right now is like, there's more, like a lot more, like I don't go to the beach very often. So there's just a lot more like hanging out than what I'm used to in my day-to-day life. And that was a little bit of a shock for me. So me like wanting to just be like, oh, am I dressed properly? Is like my bikini nice enough? Is it like, am I too covered? Am I not covered enough? Like all these thoughts that are kind of running through your head as you kind of go to the beach, for example, are blocks to me just showing up to the beach, being who I want to be and whatever outfit I want to be in. Like if I want to be in a one piece or a two piece, it doesn't matter. It's just whatever makes me feel good. So if I'm spending time like running thoughts about why or how do I, why or how the beach is so skimpy. I'm like losing my train of thought. I don't know what's going on. So excuse me. This is a crazy week. I was talking about the beach and how all these different thoughts that run through your head, like when you're like in a swimsuit or in a bikini or trying to pick out your right bikini, can just be a block to you just having fun, like showing up and whatever makes you feel good and just having a good time. So that's kind of like one example. Another example that's coming up now is like for those of you who are trying to manifest anything, like trying to create anything in your life. It could be a move, it could be a new business, it could be a new romance, but you have thoughts like, for example, you're trying to manifest a new romance, but you keep thinking, oh, there's no good partners out there, or I always pick the crappy ones, or what, all these thoughts that you could be running in your head as like a single person, that they themselves, like the belief systems themselves, could be blocks to you, that be perfect love just coming in. Or like you're trying to start a new business or get a new job, but you keep thinking, oh, like there's just, what job out there could be better than what I have? Or, does anyone even care? Like, am I even any good? All these doubts and these fears or these worries are kind of creating, like infertile soil for the seeds of your manifestation to grow. So you always want to try as much as you can to be compassionate towards yourself, compassionate to the thoughts that you think. Go easy on yourself is what I'm hearing, especially this week and through the summer. And just treat yourself as you would treat, a 5-year-old, for example. Like, would you tell a 5-year-old that they can't have everything that they wanted in this life? Hopefully not. Most people tell their young kids or cousins or etc. that they can be anything, that they can do anything because it's true. But somewhere along the lines, when we're in adult circles, like from time to time, that kind of beautiful, infinite potential kind of energy that we always have for our kids just kind of ebbs away, and you end up, talking yourself out of them or allowing other people to talk you out of things. So this is just a reminder to almost like an energy hygiene, just like keep the soil of your mind fertile, feed positive energies, thoughts, and intentions to yourself and others, and always maintain a beautiful spirit of gratitude for this beautiful creation experiment known as Earth. and you will absolutely grow beautiful abundance. And I think that is there a pinnacle in this? It looks like a pinnacle to me. Okay, it's technically just a ball of light, but that's interesting. Like magnifying your own life force energy through compassion for the self. That's beautiful. Oh, I could definitely use that. I think that, another thing that I noticed this week, and it could just be me, but I'm just gonna say it in case it's someone else. I have been picking up more and more on all the ways that like random thoughts that I'll have in my head that just are not helpful, that aren't constructive, they're really like toxic thoughts are really what they are. Like they are kind of polluting like this fertile soil. And I know some of them are just part of the collective, like as I walk out in public, for example, sitting in a cafe, I'll notice that all of a sudden, like maybe I'll be a little bit more negative in my thinking. And recently, like very recently, I've just come to the realization that it's more the energies around me than it is me sometimes that's feeding that negative wave. So this is also a call as we get out in June that we're out there, we're hopefully connecting, having a good time, enjoying all that life has to offer, that we are also remaining, again, very boundaried and just becoming very aware of our limits, like energetically, so that we don't end up, for example, getting up, or we don't end up taking on the pain that we might be feeling out there in the world or in the collective to such an extent that it makes it more challenging for us to honor the joys of living. Because you want to be able to empathize with everyone, but after a certain point, like if you're always so in empathy mode, it like where's the fun for you? Like if you're always just empathizing with the world's pain, like it needs to kind of be a balance where you're empathizing, but there's no such thing as too much empathy, but you know what I mean, like just a more boundaried, like measured approach to how much you allow any suffering or pain that you might see in the world to kind of impact what you're creating on your individual reality. So that's just another really important point. And then sacred reverence. This kind of goes into what we were talking about before. It's like a deep seeing and a deep respect for the world as it is. So one way that we can ensure that, as there always is, like maybe some low points that we might have in our day-to-day life, or low points that we might see collectively are out there, one of the quickest ways to kind of move through that and to make sure that it's not really impacting us too deeply in a negative way so that it sucks us out of the fun that we could be having in our lives, is just the acceptance that at least for the foreseeable future, there's always going to be that good and that bad, honoring the fact that it's all absolutely 100% purposeful. Again, it's all needed. It's all critical to the development of this planet, to the expansion of the souls for both us and the people experiencing that, and to be able to honor, not to say that we like it, but just to honor that even the low points have beauty in them, and taking the time from time to time to honor even where your own low points have gotten you. Because I know for me, like the low points, the majority of the major things that have happened in my life that I would perceive to be negative ultimately ended up for my own benefit in the long run, even though in the short term it didn't feel very good. So this is a reminder that, collectively especially, this feels very collective. There might be events going on in the world at large that could just be really upsetting, that could force or maybe kind of get some people into like an empathy overload type of a space. And that's that honoring and that reverence of the fact that that is a creative process that the collective has chosen for its own long-term expansion is a key to making sure that you don't get lost in like a depression or anything like that. So I think that is, again, like a beautiful reminder to all of us. At any point in time, but especially right now, just having a beautiful acceptance of creation, whether or not we perceive it as positive or negative. That's beautiful. All right. So that was a lot. Let me do a brief recap. I think we pretty much got the overall themes. Then we'll do a slightly deeper dive, and then we'll go into the weeklies. So an acceptance of the things that we can't change. I'm hearing Ho'oponopono again. It's like, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, the courage to change what I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So Ho'oponopono is going to be a big one for this week and moving into next week. Spirit of gratitude, honoring your magic, and just enjoying being alive. Sounds good to me. Like that sounds like my kind of week. Okay, so I pulled some cards here for our deeper dive, and then I'll pull a card for each day, and then I'll take questions if anyone has questions, or I'm doing mini readings as well, but if not, I'll end it there. So the first card I'm getting is the Tower in reverse. So this, okay, internal transformation. Okay, this goes back into our peacock energy. So this week especially is, and I don't know if it's the summer solstice or what's happening. I need to take a closer look at the planetary events. I know we have a full moon coming up, but something is going on with the planets especially, and that's kind of the download I'm getting, where it's ushering in like a major internal revolution. And this one feels just so major and so positive. It just feels like a beautiful, like bullet blast of energy, almost like breaking down the walls that we've used to confine ourselves in the construct that we've created for ourselves. And it goes even beyond like, things like our hair and our nails. Like I'm hearing like constructs that we may have built around, for example, being a mother or being a daughter or being like a spouse. Like if it's, for example, like if you have kids and you have created this construct in your mind of what it means to be a mom, and moms do this and moms do that, and good moms do this and bad moms do that, for example, or good moms, for example, don't go on vacation for 2 weeks and leave the kids, or good moms don't, or why am I getting, I'm always getting like the example of like partial nudity all the time this week. That's really weird, but good moms don't wear mini skirts, or like, whatever, like age appropriate dress, for example. All those constructs just go flying away, and you start asking like, who said that a good mom can't go on a long vacation? Like who said that a good daughter, I don't know, has to call every day? Who said that I have to be this way or I have to be that way? That is really the primary question that Spirit is asking for us to ask ourselves as we move through this week. If we feel restricted or confined by anything, it could be jobs, it could be our own beliefs, it could be where we're living, it's just who decided that I have to do it like this, and why? Or really, as we question, that's going to be kind of the launching pad for some of you, a whole new identity that is just so much stronger and more authentic than maybe the mask that you've been wearing. So that is awesome. I always get so excited when I see people like coming out of their shells or breaking out of the constructs that maybe society has built for them. That is really a big theme for this week. What's this one? The Devil reverse. Okay, yes. Okay, Okay, so this is, again, about bondage, about oppression, coming back to that Ten of Wands reverse energy, right? So the Devil upright is about the ways that we feel bound or chained. It's literally like that monster. It could be addictions as well. For some of you, addictions to sugar, addictions to, I'm hearing an addiction to being perceived in a certain way. That, oh my God. I'm sorry, I'm blowing my own mind. For some of you, especially this week, it's like the addiction to being seen a certain way, the addiction to being seen as hardworking or as professional, or being seen as whatever you think the mask that you're wearing is helping you look like. This week, with this Devil reversed, is making you aware of the fact that that is a whole lot of nonsense, because people are going to see you the way that they want to see you. That's the truth. You can try however much you want to try, but people are always going to see you the way that they want to see you. And a lot of the ways that people perceive others is through their own projection anyway. So you really cannot control how others perceive you. The masks that you wear are not going to help you with that. It's better to lean into you and your own authentic sense of self. And this week, like, people, I just feel people going out and I don't know what's going on. I need to look, oh my gosh, you need to let me know like the ways that you guys are just shifting and growing, because it seems just so exciting. Like, you are really breaking free of that ultimate self-bondage or self-imposed bondage, and societal bondage as well, because societal bondage like brings in that self-imposed bondage as well. It's like you fear being judged, so you stay in a box. This week and into the summer, it's like, you're not doing that. No. 9 of Swords. Okay, I'm being drawn to the water energy again. So the transition might be stressful, and that's fair, right? So you have, thoughts, limited belief structures that you're working through that are going to, you're going to have to challenge those belief structures. You're going to have to step outside your comfort zone in order to maximize this flamboyant, like, kind of peacock energy that's coming in. And this is just kind of a shadow energy, just to know that you have to do it. Like, the flamboyant energy is great, but you have to step into it and allow it to just move through you and express however it's going to express. Don't allow your worries or your fears or your limitations that you might have constructed in your mind to keep you bound, to make you like just turn all the energy, the beautiful energies of this week on its head and end up in a Devil upright. Like, you want to keep the Devil in the reverse, like on his way down back to wherever he's going. And you just have to become aware and be mindful of your worries and your own beliefs. And that's, in order to do that, you have to come back into acceptance. So acceptance of the fact that you do have insecurities, that you do have worries, that sometimes you might be scared beyond to make the changes that you want to make, and that's okay. Accepting that as a beautiful expression of divinity as well, but remembering that you can have whatever you want. At any point, at any time, it is possible. It is possible. And I hear some of you saying like, oh yeah, you're just saying that. That is the 9 of Swords energy. So if I say you can do whatever you want, and you say, oh yeah, maybe you can, or oh, I'm not so sure about that. Like, that's, who said? Come back to the truth, which yes, you absolutely can. Yes, you absolutely can. All right. Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, I'm hearing hustler. Who's hustling? Some of you are starting new businesses and new ventures, or maybe looking for a new job, or maybe a new life. But you're bringing in that fertile, nurturing energy. That divine feminine is extremely necessary moving forward. Ooh, and it's going to lead to wealth. And this is wealth in all its forms. It's not just financial wealth, it's wealth. Like, happiness, joy, exuberance, serenity, like wealth in all its forms. That is coming in, that earth energy, that compassion energy. Love yourself always. And then I'm getting the 2 of Pentacles reversed, and then the 3 of Pentacles upright. So this is also a specific message. I'm getting community again coming through. Some of you are going to be meeting soul tribe, connecting with those that you love and care about. And I'm also getting a message, and this might be very specific, but if you're feeling overwhelmed in any way, because I'm getting a sense that might be some people watching this who are kind of in a lower place, maybe struggling with depression or just feeling very overburdened or overwhelmed by the negativity that they may be going through or experiencing, like reaching out for help. And this includes divine help. So asking spirit, asking your guides, asking friends if you have friends, family, but really leaning into the abundance of connection that you do have, especially your divine connection. So asking, just sitting down and asking your guides. If you don't know their names, it's totally fine. If you do, that's great. But asking for their help, if it's just like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. I'm moving. I have to pack. I have to do da-da-da-da-da. I don't know how I'm going to do it all. I don't know how I'm going to get out of here. Like, ask for that assistance and it will come in some form or another. Yay! So it seems like a good week. So I'll go ahead and draw a card. I'm going to go back to my Egyptian deck and do one for each day of the week. I have to look up when the solstice is, because I feel like the solstice is somehow very significant, but I don't know how or why. I just haven't got a chance to look it up. And I feel like maybe that's the reason I'm all over the place. Like, that's my hunch, but I feel very, a bit scattered. But it's also maybe because I'm moving, and when I move, my energy shifts, and I just move, it's like my energy begins to move before I move, so I feel very discombobulated. I don't know if that's just me or if it's like a collective energy. I feel quite discombobulated. It also could be that transition energy, that as you step into a new form of you, it could be disorienting. You could discover parts of you that you're like, wow, I didn't know I liked that, or I didn't know I was into that, or I didn't know that, I wanted new hair or a new job or whatever. Some of you are getting tired of your career, looking for a career change. Okay. Energies each day. We're going each day. Starting with Monday, the 29th. Ooh, okay. I got 8 fill out, so I'm gonna just Monday the 29th. Okay. I am getting the Ace of Pentacles. Let me take a look at this. Okay, so yeah, it feels financial, and it feels, in terms of abundance, I'm feeling the energy of some of you just feeling very not abundant. You feel like maybe things are expensive, or you have a big dream that you don't know how you're going to manifest. It's important that you tap into the resources of light that exists within you. Abundance is a part of your very essence. It's not something that you possess. It's an essence. It is you. It's you are abundant. You are light, and you will be cared for. So Monday is very much a hard gratitude focus. They can also be the moment to really tap into spirit and have a conversation with them about what it is that you want. What is it that who do you want to be? What do you want to manifest? Where do you want to go? And reach out for that divine assistance that you need so that you can be abundant and maximize all of the beauty that is you in the physical. So that's the advice for Monday. Tuesday, let's figure it out. Ooh, okay. Oh no, it's sideways. Okay, so I'm getting the Ace of Swords reverse. So, no. Oh, I said reverse, but it fell sideways. So I see when cards fall like sideways to me, I get it more of like a teeter, totter. So this, you could be either on like maybe a more positive end of the Ace of Swords, or on a more like internal, I'm not getting negative, I'm getting internal form of the Ace of Swords. So this is like Tuesday, there is something, a new concept, and it feels like a new concept of self, like a new like almost like the beginnings of a new identity itself beginning to form within you. And Tuesday, that you may become conscious of that in some way, or it might be a subconscious effort, but this Tuesday is where the energy is really going to start to shift. So that is the 30th. That's 5:30, or is it the 20? No, today's the 20. I'm getting my stuff so mixed up. But I believe that Tuesday is, yeah, it's the 30th. So 5, let me just do the numerology on that. 12 reduces to 3, 5, 3 is 8. Okay, so 8 is that infinity, it's that builder, it's that practical manifestation, that practical building. So as we get into Tuesday, really start to, after you commune with spirit, after you get clear on what your goals are, begin to really ask yourself, what do I need to change to become who I want to be? Or if I am already who I want to be, how can I move more deeply into that internal flow? Also ask yourself, what do I feel is holding me back? What do I feel is holding me back from being the most like flamboyant, the most outgoing, the most outrageous, the most like a unapologetic version of me that I can be? And really sit with that, especially meditation on Tuesday. You're going to get some kind of a clarity that will help you move forward from that and move into a new direction in a positive way. So that's Tuesday. Wednesday, the 31st. If I happen to get my dates wrong, you can adjust as needed, but I think I got it right. I think today's the 28th. Okay, so the 2 of Wands for Wednesday. Okay, yeah, okay, burning new passion, fire energy again, like being emboldened with passion to create. And this feels like it could be all over the place depending on who you are. It could be like music, it could be it could be magic, it could be changing your dress, changing your hair. It could be, again, manifesting that move. It's a creation element, like using the power of your own life force in a positive, creative direction is the theme of Wednesday. You're ready for that to happen. You're ready to take those steps. Make sure you have a plan in place. That's Wednesday. Thursday. Ooh, I'm getting the 8 of Cups. There's a little world move happening, a very literal move. So I don't know. I mean, that might be for me. Like that's the moment where I think that's the day that I'm moving locations. So it's interesting, but for some of you, it feels like more of a psychological move. It feels like, no, this is, and again, it feels like gratitude's coming in. So it's almost like, ooh, it's like a beautiful, I'm hearing conscious uncoupling. It's a conscious uncoupling. Is that who popularized that with like Gwyneth Paltrow? A conscious uncoupling from everything that you're ready to move on from. And it's not necessarily all bad. Like some of the stuff is stuff that there's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just it's time for you to move on. So yeah. Thursday, moving on psychologically, emotionally, and for some of you, very much literally, from anything that you feel like could be a restriction of or a blocker to your ability to manifest you, like you as you are. And like your own authentic expression isn't quite a manifestation. So maybe by saying manifesting you, it's not quite exactly like the vibration I'm trying to hit, but I'm getting the blossoming of your authentic essence. Like Thursday is the moment when you either do it or you make the decision that it's going to happen, that you are willing to walk away from whatever you need to walk away from to claim what's yours, to claim you. Damn, it's a big wig. Friday. Is Friday the 1st? No. I'm getting my dates all out of whack. That is Friday. And the card that's fallen out is the King of Pentacles. We got this last week. This is another gratitude focus. And the theme of money and the theme of feeling like you don't have enough, the theme of feeling unabundant while you're surrounded by abundance is, it can happen, especially in our society, in our, the more kind of a culture. It can be easy to have so much, but to feel like you don't have as much as so-and-so, or that you don't have all that you need. This is a remembering to return to power. The return to the power that you are, return to the essence of you, that you really are light. And as needed, you will create and have what you need. So this is the big gratitude focus on Friday. Saturday. Saturday feels like a particularly significant day. We'll see the card that comes out. Getting the 4 of Cups reversed, and I'm being drawn to the energy of this bird. It's not a stork, but I've never seen a bird like this in like an Egyptian thing. What is that? It looks like a stork, and it's carrying a scroll. A message coming in, could be literal, could be from spirit. Reversed, are some of you like refusing to answer a call? Or that's what I'm hearing. It's like, that's the warning, I guess, of Saturday. So if a message comes on Friday, or if you receive an insight on Friday, say you're meditating and you receive like an idea or an insight, and I would ask you, you can do whatever you want, but I would ask you to strongly consider being open to receive the guidance that comes through or the message that comes through. Doesn't mean you have to like it or that you have to agree with it, but if you receive like some literal or spiritual communication, yeah, I would advise you to look at that closely and to take it seriously, and to maybe be more open to whatever the message is conveying than you maybe usually would be, and not automatically dismiss. And I'm being guided to give a clarifier for that one. So that is the Chariot. It feels like a resistance energy. Like it feels like something wants to move forward quickly on Saturday, especially. And the inclination is to maybe be like, I don't know, like maybe, or something. So Saturday, just be open to receive and be ready to kind of spring into action to kind of grab whatever it is that you might want. And even if it's as a social invitation, you know, if you've been in the house and you receive a social invitation, maybe go, you know. Where maybe you would normally say, nah, I don't want to, like, maybe Saturday's the day to go. Sunday. The Six of Swords. So this is another transition energy. It feels like a cycle. Because when we started the week, what was the first week of? Okay, yeah, we were moving into abundance, moving away with the Eight of... Okay, so this is about emotional movement and then about mental movement as well. Again, this again can be a literal move. Maybe some of you are moving in June. But this feels like a psychological and mental transition. Like it's, you receive something this week. It can be an insight. It could be a download. It could be a light code. It could be a literal message. And as a result of that, you move deeper into self, actually. So you're moving away from like phony, like the lies that you tell yourself. You're moving away from any type of lies that you might see in the collective, and you're moving away, but it's a movement within you. It's not the same type of a movement that we saw with the Eight of Cups, where you're moving away from something and just kind of like ending that connection. It just feels like I'm feeling like you're giving, it's almost like you're moving deeper into you, flowing into your own heart and allowing your own heart to kind of like envelop you, which is super deep. So Sunday is a very significant day. And that is your weekly reading. So I hope that you enjoy it. It was this is a deep week. I'm shocked. I didn't know what was going to come out this week. I just know that this week feels big, but not, it just feels like a big internal transition. It really does. And I have to see like what the astrology of kind of what's going on. But it feels like the planets are playing a big role. Let me pull one final card. One card. One final card. Okay. One more card. 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 Ooh. You want to come out, deck? Okay, I'll just select. It's fine. Oh, no, here we got one. Cosmic Heart. Okay, so I would just say moving deeper into self. The Cosmic Heart. Moving. Being nurtured. Compassion, nurturing, and the deep nurturing of self. A deep connection to your own heart as a reflection of the cosmos. Because no, oh wait, that's true, right? We're all our own universe. And allowing that universe to just kind of envelop you into like almost like a short cocoon phase. It feels like a cocoon phase for some of you, but it's not, it doesn't feel like it's gonna last very long. It feels like it's like you're in the cocoon and like you're back out and ready to be that social butterfly. And like when you come out, that's when that new essence or that new kind of peacock vibe is gonna shine. That's super interesting. All right, so that is your reading for the week. Thank you all that was able to come or that was watching this later. I appreciate your time and, you know, your support. Hopefully this was helpful. And I'm super tired. I was gonna do like questions or mini readings, but I'm just like really tired. So I think I'm gonna go. But definitely, you know, next week, I think maybe I'll be feeling a bit better. And I'll be able to kind of do more. But thank you all so much and have a great week. Bye.